Standards-based frameworks for innovation ensure that policy developments can leverage the latest technologies and make them work for everyone for generations to come. So I'm delighted that we are now joined by Sarah Hipel, Standards and Reliability Programme Manager at the Joint Office of Energy and Transportation. Sarah's going to talk to us about how technology standards are ensuring effective policy that leaves room for that rapid innovation for the greater good. Over to you, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you. Quick update. I am now the Chief Technology Officer of the Joint Office of Energy and Transportation. It's nice to meet you all. I think you're probably mostly familiar with the Joint Office. I do often hear us shortly called, referenced in terms of NEVI. So NEVI is the $7.5 billion. There is a bit more to the story though. So we also support charging fueling infrastructure, EVC RA, FTA funding, EPA funding, and we have our own funding in the terms of funding opportunity announcements. So total supported funding is more like $17.5 billion plus, all for transportation electrification. So with that, the Fed likes me to talk off the teleprompter, so I am going to use my prepared notes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today about the pivotal role technology plays in shaping policy, particularly as it comes to electric vehicle transportation. We find ourselves in an era where technology is not just driving consumer preferences, but is reshaping government policy itself. EVs are at the forefront of this transformation. With zero emissions, unparalleled performance, and cutting-edge efficiency, EVs offer a promising path for the future of transportation, yet the real power of these advancements goes beyond the vehicles themselves. EVs are a catalyst for something much larger, ushering in a new era of intergovernmental collaboration, infrastructure development, and public-private partnerships that are ensuring the transportation system of tomorrow are efficient, grid-friendly, and accessible to everyone. Today, I want to focus on how technology has emerged as a key policy driver in the space and how the Joint Office of Energy and Transportation is leading the vision to develop the necessary infrastructure, standards, and policies to support the widespread adoption of EVs and pave the way for a sustainable future. Let's start with why electric vehicle technology is not just an alternative, but is the future of transportation. The benefits of EVs extend far beyond zero emissions. These vehicles offer significant performance improvements, superior acceleration, torque, and an enhanced overall driving experience in many EV models compared to traditional ICE vehicles. But the important impact of electrified technology goes beyond individual performance. It's revolutionizing how we think about our energy grid and national infrastructure. These vehicles are more than just consumers of electricity. They have the potential to be mobile storage units capable of interacting with the grid through VGI technologies. During peak demand times, EVs can feed electricity back into the grid, stabilizing the system and providing a critical resource for grid resiliency. This shift in how vehicles interact with the energy system is a game changer, offering the government a prime opportunity to lead in building a more flexible, sustainable, and resilient grid for the future. At this heart of the effort is the Office of Energy and Transportation, an innovative model for how government can collaborate across sectors to drive policy through technological innovation. We are formed to bridge two critical sectors, energy and transportation. Because the future of one cannot be developed in isolation from the other, the mission of the Joint Office is straightforward: to build a national EV charging network that is reliable, interoperable, and equitable for all. But achieving this is anything but simple. Our role is to ensure that electric vehicle technology works seamlessly for consumers while supporting the national grid and energy infrastructure, we're making strides in creating standards that ensure any vehicle can use any charger anywhere in the country. Imagine a world where your vehicle's charging experience is as simple as plugging in your smartphone. Plug-and-charge technology, which allows drivers to simply plug in their vehicle and start charging without needing to swipe a card, is a prime example of how we're making this a reality. But that's not all. We're working to ensure the entire charging ecosystem is secure, resilient, and scalable. One of the most crucial elements in making EVs widely adoptable is establishing clear, open standards. The success of EV charging technology depends on whether the infrastructure we build today can adapt to the technological innovations of tomorrow. This is where the Joint Office's standards work comes into play. Our collaboration with the private sector and organizations like the Society of Automotive Engineers has been critical in developing standards like J3400, which set a common charging connector across all vehicles. This is a massive step forward, enabling the deployment of low-cost, ubiquitous charging stations. We are leading efforts to ensure that these standards evolve with the needs of future technologies. For example, as modern and heavy-duty vehicles become more important in the EV landscape, we need to advance the megawatt charging standard. There's also a medium heavy-duty RFI out, I'd like to say. At the same time, we must rapidly deploy current-controlled curbside charging to improve efficiency in densely populated areas and for those without access to individual parking spots or driveways. Take our work with ChargeX and EVs at Scale initiatives. These programs are addressing the challenges of grid integration and scaling EV infrastructure. Recently, we worked on automatic session reinitialization process to enhance the consumer experience with charging their vehicles. This might seem small or trivial, but ensuring a smooth, efficient, and reliable experience for drivers is crucial to encouraging widespread adoption of electric vehicles. In the coming months, the combined forces of DOE consortia, ChargeX and EVs at Scale, will set out to solve 3 critical problem spaces for V1G or managed charging. From troubleshooting relevant protocols to establishing KPIs and working the kinks out of high-level comms while matching vehicle fundamental state machines, we help to solve, through an FMEA approach of finding problems and fixing problems, the building blocks of managed charging. Let's talk about one of the most critical challenges we face as we build the new infrastructure, cybersecurity. As EVs become an integral part of the grid, the importance of cybersecurity cannot be overstated. We are creating a national network of EV chargers, but with every charging point comes a potential cyber vulnerability. It's not just about protecting data, it's about protecting the grid itself. That's why cybersecurity is a top priority for the Joint Office. We've been working closely with national labs and cybersecurity experts to develop robust guidelines and technical assistance for manufacturers, operators, and EV owners. Our collaboration with the Office of the National Cyber Director, through efforts like the Clean Energy Transition Group, is a prime example of how we are integrating cybersecurity into the heart of our policy efforts. Together, we co-authored the Cybersecurity Action Plan, which focuses on electric vehicle industry and ensures that charging ecosystem, from the hardware to the software that manages a charging session, is secure from potential cyber threats. Equity is another core value driving our work. We know that in the past, some communities have been left behind as new technologies are rolled out. But with the EV infrastructure, we are determined to make sure that every community, regardless of its size, wealth, or location, has access to clean transportation options. Through programs like NEVI and the Communities Taking Charge FOA, we are providing targeted support to ensure that rural and underserved areas receive the help that they need to deploy EV charging infrastructure. In this context, our partnership with local governments, private sector leaders, and industry experts is key. We are not just building a system that works for today, we are building a system that works for the future and that must be equitable. In conclusion, the advances we are witnessing in EV technology are more than just innovations in transportation. They are driving the policies that will shape our energy and mobility future. The work we are doing at the Joint Office of Energy and Transportation is laying the foundation for a more sustainable, secure, and equitable transportation system, but we cannot go it alone. So, what does this mean for you? It means that now, more than ever, we need your engagement. Whether you're a policymaker, an industry leader, or a researcher, your voice is essential. Help us drive the future of clean transportation, get involved in our standards initiatives, support the deployment of EV charging infrastructure in your communities, and help us make sure that no one is left behind in this transition. We are at a crucial moment right now, like literally right now in the next couple of weeks. We are at a crucial moment. This decision we make today will impact generations to come. The future is electric, but it is up to all of us to make sure the future is built on a foundation of innovation, security, and equity. Let's get moving together.